blessing that time in the efforts I read. The brothers give me the fear, the promise of death. The work with my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Clear police who make on you. I can't ask you if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can ask you my jam. And you say no money. The more I get you. And you love how the more I get you. What is that?
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, another forget now ya to money. That's the baby, another forget now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We study for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are red. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise from best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, the San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
In the Sktv, it is the best in Liberia. Sktv, it is the best in Africa. And for matter of fact, we are the best around the world. Folks, what a way to say the pleasant good evening and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Sktv show. Let me see how the camera looks here. Yes, I will do. Yeah, okay, good, correct, good. I hope that we are good to go. Don't mind the physical morphology. Sometimes it can be easy, but God is there. That means, you know, some of us we have our own, we have our own Bibles. That sometimes we have our own trust. You know, sometimes the work they do for us, so sometimes we got to wait for them before we can have our, hair everything in tight. So this Paul been giving me a lot of excuses a few days, but again, it's good. It's good. Sometimes you got to look different. You know. That's the beauty of life. But again, folks, welcome. Today is the second day in the 7th month. Some of us who are praying, you know, you got to pray. You got to pray. You got to pray, especially when you have your own resolution. That means you got to pray. Maybe you've been thinking that in the 7th month, your resolution will come to pass. So you have to pray. If you don't do, then hold yourself responsible, because there are millions, if not millions, billions of people that are praying, you know, every day to the Almighty Creator. So some of the prayer when you go, sometimes prayer passing through prayer. Oh, they like it can be easier though. Sometimes look, those of you who in the prayer room, you know what I'm talking about. There are some people when they pray, even your lay prayer, you say, you know, I watch. Yeah. This guy, how they call him, Angel, Mark Angel. Yeah, good. My Angel, when they started their comedy business, by them, they were so unique. It was sweet. So there was this one of the, you know, the comedy they have was the prayer. So the guy who have food, he have everything, he have money, you know, everything. So he went to the church, you know, he went to the church to pray to God so the government can give him contract, you know. So he went there, he was on his knee praying. While he was praying, the other guy too went into the same church, you know, and he started to pray, which of course was my angel now. But then, you know, there's not comedy here. My angel now started to pray. He was praying to God for 1,000 naira so that he can go look for food to eat. I know some of you, why you follow that, I know what I'm talking about, right? So when the millionaire was praying for government to give him contracts, that will add his money up, Mark Angel was only praying for 1,000 naira so that he can survive, he can eat for the day. So my angel continued to disturb you. No, nothing made me laugh. You go to that comedy. So my angel continued to disturb the man prayer. Father God, only 1,000 naira. Only just blasted. Oh Lord, only 1,000 naira. While the millionaire was praying to God for God to allow him to win the bid for the contract for government to give him the contract. Then the other men who were praying for only 1,000 naira. So you see how the life look? So you see how the life look, right? So which one the prayer that God will answer? So you see how we look on this earth, right? That's the kind of prayer. So the prayer just keep going. All the prayer just looking like what is to compare the way our prayer can go to God, like okay, like the internet. I don't know how many of you can really should I say no, I think these things they wave that can be passing through one another, the higher look. So why you praying for resolution for the 7 month, for the month to be your month of, I don't know, travel or wedding, somebody else you're praying for them to survive. Someone else out there in the hospital, in the clinic, somewhere, just praying, God, Father, save my life. So you see how you pray on looking. So if you are praying, for example, that's why you gotta be careful in some of the prayers that we do. If you are praying, for example, for you to get man, let me just say that way, or for you to get woman. Someone else is praying for them to just survive, to have life, to have food to eat. Oh, this earth. That's the beauty of life. Good evening again to all of you out there, travel listeners, our followers, please. Let's share the show. Today is Wednesday, the 2nd of July. Most of our team members will be here with us on this beautiful Wednesday evening. For a matter of fact, 7 minutes down 6. That's a time check. I don't know about 2, but from what I said on broadcast, it's 7 minutes past 6 o'clock. And for a matter of fact, it's evening time. So many things to talk about today, but like we promised you people yesterday that we will be looking into the entire burial, reburial, all of the another news about maybe on Friday, and the government going to look into other we're going to look into the memorial service and so forth, praying for our people. Today we'll just be asking, what's your own take? We don't want you to hold or respond, but again into some of the passing quickly before we go to maybe social or other things. Yes, the president of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency, I don't get that one. I'm not good thing about President Joseph Imam Bwaka. President Joseph Imam Bwaka is not that, but Trump to meet 5 African leaders. Only 5 African leaders, including our president of the Republic of Liberia, from the 9th of this month, that means July 9 to the 11th. And President Joseph Imam Bwaka will be there to represent Liberia. So that's the news, that's the latest news. Those of you Liberians, we got to celebrate and pray that in the because the men are not the men. He will call people. I hope you will not behave like the South African president. Yeah. So now there's some visitation, it can be good. Sometimes it can be there, some kind of thing. Like what happened during those days, the previous in fact, the former president. And he said, President George Weah was invited. What happened? No, they were interesting. So, indeed, our president will be in the U.S. Maybe they will start going this week because, mind you, the U.S., in fact, they are, what is it? Some of you know, July 4th, their Independence Day. So, the U.S. Independence Day is this coming Friday. Yeah, I think they're coming Friday. Yeah, Friday, July 4th. Okay, tomorrow will be the 10th. Okay, yes. Friday, July 4th will be the U.S. Independence Day. So, and our president and that the other five African leaders. So there are 5. They will be there. And there will be two main areas of bilateral focus. Oh, the economy and the security. So thank God that our president will be in the US to represent us when it comes to the economy and the security. So the 5 African leaders, they have been called upon. somebody say, look, that's good news. Let me tell you, it's good actually. The only thing our president can do is when you go there, you got Donald Trump or somebody who oh God. Let me see the man here who campaign, I don't like campaign manager. Yeah, who campaign manager, you know, any marks. He and Donald Trump, the battle back to back. Look, oh, America is not going to continue to be. So first, let's share the show. Today, let's think of how we say, but we just have our topic already. We will bring in some of the happening for the day. We will also ask you about your own take. We hearing that well, the former speaker has been what? Been indicted or what? Yeah, that news. I was sleeping. Some people were calling me back to back. Maybe you get the news. I said, what kind of news? They said the former speaker was indicted. I don't know as well for being associated. I don't know for association or what. So I will check that. Then I will read the entire full story about that. But I think yes. Then secondly, while we move through quickly before we go to our social topic, so many things happening in social. Let me just say it quickly, maybe before Mr. Cannon, that Monk, because Monk will join us very, very soon. Let's share the show, people. Yeah, today that Wednesday, today is lily night. To all of you, our beautiful women, indeed, you are good. All of you, you are good set of people. Let me be frank. Aliu wanted us to talk about a quality issue, but I don't know. But when you come on, then we'll talk that because, yeah, I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to go into that. So I guess that some of you have been following some of the latest social happening. Somebody tag me. Monk also tag me. Oh yeah, Monk tag me into some kind of social post about the stress we go through, or in fact, I will go through with the men. And the lady not know, you know, and that lady she's smart, she always doing any kind of social video. So she just read a little thing up and say, all the bills the men can pay with all the stress on the street, and then they can outside take. So someone said, I see why men die sooner because of all the stress, and that's true. All the stress in the home, we can see all that one. Then we go again, we add another frustration again to the previous or to the current stress. So that's why we don't easily live long. We die from stress. That's true. And men just less stress. I don't know how come. Father God, what do we do with this stress? Bring this stress for us. We don't want less stress. We want to bear everything with, you know, everything we want to bear, or we want to take all the responsibility. You know that me, the man in the home. You know that me, the man. Let me do all. They don't live long, oh, man. You don't live long. Oh. So that's why I see sometimes most of us men, we die from high blood pressure. Yeah, high blood pressure. We die from so many things. Yeah, we die from so many things just because of taking everything. We want to take everything. We want to put all into our head. We want to control everything. We want to, you know, have, you know, that control over everything in our life. You can do it. When you do that, you will collapse. Yeah, blood will run through your head, and when blood run through your head, then you tend to delete. So that's why it's good that there are some things you put down. Don't take everything you meant. So while we're sharing the show, those of you I'm still sharing the show, please help us share the show. Let me see what Mr. Connor and the team are here. Yeah, CP Colley, the other team from Nimba County, they will also join us here this evening on the show. Please, let's share the show. I know it's not easy in the country, but there are some things I don't do. Sometimes we just have to learn some things at least and focus on other things. The lawmaker, in fact, let me tell some of you quickly that the lawmakers, they are asking questions about their speaker. Now, where is the if you don't want to laugh, you will laugh. So the lawmakers are asking for the speaker because according to unconfirmed reports or information or news that the speaker been away now for a little time. Yeah, you know, he not been going for session And so that people are asking, but how come they may not go for session, but they may went for burial ceremony, even though when they were calling the country interesting. When they were calling the people to represent the law, or in fact, yeah, the lawmakers, right? So, and the local men, somebody said, somebody said the same thing that happened with Liberia and what kind of country? And they said they were looking for what was send a bomb. Then the local Liberia found they put a finger on Liberia. Then they launched a bomb out of nowhere. So instead of the people calling the speaker, now they call the Senate pro tempore, Madam Lawrence Kanga, to go and speak on behalf of the legislature. So that sparked off mixed reactions. And people were saying that who is the head of the legislature? By right, let me tell some of you, according to our own constitutions and so forth, the president, the vice president, the speaker. So you see how the voting look? So the president, the vice president, and the speaker. If the speaker not around, then the Senate pro tempore will be there. If the Senate pro tempore not around, then you have the maybe the chief justice and so forth. And that's the thing. These are things that we've been knowing for a little time now of our life here on this earth. So that's the kind of more trend of leadership that you will see over and over and again. But again, I don't know why we really went wrong. That according to unconfirmed reports or maybe information, that indeed they unfortunately the protocol had to call the Senate pro tempore to come and speak on behalf of the legislature. And just because of that, there are so many mixed reactions in the public land. People are complaining and people are saying that what is another quote unquote, maybe I don't want to talk that one. So what they are saying that what is another cool, maybe they want to replace or not. We still observing the process. And we are here, we're going to be here. So folks, good. Thanks to all of you, at least for sharing. We're back after all of the little talking, what we've been doing and we always do, to get you on course while we go through. But again, they quickly in passing the MDR endorse Koto Kwagu. Kwagu, you're from Nima, you got to pronounce it Kwagu or Kwagu for Nima District number 5 election. And yes, indeed. So with their own registration and so forth. And for a matter of fact, that election will be August 12th, 2025. So the MDR or the endorsed or candidate of the Unity Party led government so the man will be representing the people there in district number 5 if you win the election come August 12th, 2025. I mean this year. So again, we will be having another by-elections in Nimba district number 5. And I don't know how many candidates, but we are so far so good. We are seeing this candidate from the MDR who also, if I have his registration done, and so forth. That's good. Good news. Yeah, good news. Good news. So that move on quickly with some of the happening, some of the latest drugs. People being arrested for drugs and so forth. Let me come quickly to this one. What is the news with the? Sorry. Let me see quickly. I'm trying to get this speakership. What is the? Yeah, let me check what are my guys or my team members. They are set. Okay, good. So we're almost in 400. I hit 400 people as we go through the entire thing. I hit 400. So today we'll go straight into the burial ceremony and all of the reburial and so forth. What's your own take about what we'll be discussing today? I know there are a lot of you now who are already thinking about the 2029 Liberian politicians and how they look. So 2029 election now is around, because the reason I'm saying is around is that people think that 2029 is next week. That's the kind of thinking. So people are crossing over from another political party to another political party. Like 2029 is right here. Now we have close to almost 4 more years to go, or 3 years and a half, before entering into 2029. But because of politics, we don't want to do the work of our people. So what we do is that let muddy the water, let confuse them, let make them, to be like, in fact, they don't even know what they want. So people now are campaigning. There's serious campaign activities. Even when the people go on the class reloaded, that's what they do there. Good, Jeremiah Collab. Thank God, yeah, I saw some of video from that street. Yeah, from Sano County today. I wonder, hey, I'm really thinking about calling you today from that area. So thank God, yeah. So this is not about elections, campaign, and so on, both back to back. It's about serving the people and making the people to believe that what they voted for or the reason why they voted you is for you to serve them. It's for you to serve them. But instead, most of our people, what they do here is that they can, by the time they get another opportunity, they campaign for another one. Without even serving or even doing the work good, all they do is that they campaign. So let me see this video. I don't want to go to this story from I finish with this story, then we'll go straight into our topic and see how best before the team come up. Yeah, where is this? How they call coming? Oh, okay. Yeah, so the best thing to do is for you to serve your people when they give you the opportunity for you to serve. But again, at the end of the day, all they care about is how to get money, how to get rich, how to get campaign money, and how to get everything. That's what they do. Nothing at all the people that today, that some of all that we running behind here and they're back to back thinking that these people, they are all in your interest. No, they are not in your interest. They are all campaigning. Now the question being asked, where is the speaker? You know what I mean? They legislate all the lower house, or in fact, the lawmakers from the lower house, they are asking now for the lawmaker. Where is their lawmaker? Thank God Monk is here already. So for now, let me see how to bring more good. Monk.
What's up, Mebon?
I'm doing great, my dear brother. Thank God for life, and thank you also for joining us.
I had a charming today. I've been going for that. How will be so I can get back to full blast at least after a week or from a few days. I charming 1 or 2 days, and then I come back. What's going on? Where's the update? I ain't been following a lot of issues.
So many things, my brother. So many things trending. I just talk about the lawmakers. They are asking for that speaker. Where is that speaker? I don't know, but again, that's one of the news also, and also we did burial and reburial and so forth, and the other news having to do with the former speaker, according to unconfirmed information that he has been indicted for being associated or association. Some kind of word they use there. So again, I'm still finding out to get that entire story that today I followed that story lately, but then my hand place is somewhere, so I try to get it. So yeah, so that move, my brother, so far so good. These are some of the happening back home with the entire burial and reburial issue. I guess there are other news. Yes, indeed, I have to do with salaries. People have been underpaid and so forth. The living condition of our people.
People being unpaid, no news. That just stand up operating procedure in Liberia governance structure. So that one is no breaking news. The whole Fanatikova situation, I don't lament on things that I have no idea about. I mean, I cannot make sense of the case right now as it stands. And the current speaker being absent, I don't know how your colleague won't know your whereabouts. But anyway, the operator from a hotel before, so maybe they get to look around the country, they might find him somewhere. And I don't know, but you can go ahead. I just want to bring up
and yes, and quickly before, yes, so to let later news sorry that maybe, but let me just also inform you that Trump, the U.S. president, also to meet with 5 African leaders from July 9 to the 11th, and President Joseph Yema Boakai of ours, also part of that 5 African leaders, and according to reports and so forth, that's just about the economy and that is security. But the news coming in, I don't know, but what's the you? With five African leaders, the Senegalese president, Barishu Damaye, and Yumaru Makata Imbola from of Guinea-Bissau, and Joseph Yemabwakai, and Braz Oligua Onduk Ano in Kuma of Gabon, and Mohamed Gassouni of Mauritania. They are all been called for economic or for the economic and that of security. Monk.
Yeah. Oh, you done? Oh, I thought
Yes.
you were going. I mean, you're naming it. Yes, I came across that information on State Department website. There was a invitation to 5 African leaders. They call it commercial diplomacy, which means they're coming to strike deals. The question is, it's not about coming to the U.S. or coming to Washington D.C. or coming to the White House. It's all about what you are going to benefit when you go to the negotiating table. What are you giving in exchange for what you want? And I don't know if the Bwaka people, they are prepared, because when you come into this kind of a deal, you don't negotiate when you're already in the process. That behind the scene, you're reaching out to lobbyists, you're getting this meeting set up and the details of the meeting, and you start putting forward your economic plan and agenda. So if you don't have something planned, it means you will just come here and get involved in infantile lecture and you won't get nothing, because it's Senegal, it's Liberia, it's Mauritania, I think Gabon, and Guinea-Bissau, these 5 countries. So I would say, again, it's not about just coming to Washington, D.C., but having a tentative plan, or the one people can call a blueprint for success. That is, if you are striking the deal, will Liberia or Liberians be the direct beneficiary, and how it will have an impact on the local economy, or else it will just be another visitation tour? Because the last time I checked, Liberian president always come to the White House. The only difference is we don't see the return on investment. Speaking of taxpayer dollar, that is, you came to Washington, D.C., what you got in return for the Liberian people? Are we going to celebrate maybe a few months from now? Because looking at the history, since the government came, whether it was from Singapore to South Korea and all the deal, we are yet to see anything. I just hope this one can yield some fruitful result. I would pray that they do something better this time around, because when it comes to Donald Trump, it's all business, and that's just what geopolitics is all about. Whether they are fighting war, even when they are fighting war, people are making money. The question is, it's all about deal making. You're giving resources, you're getting something in return. But like you said, it's all about economic cooperation and regional security. So I don't know which category the Liberian government is going to fall in, because we've been having issue with drugs, about not meeting the standard for the State Department or passport and or how they call it, a visa application processes. So I don't know. Maybe Liberia could fall on the economic side, or we could fall on the security side, but I don't know the details of this particular meeting yet for Liberia, but we see. Maybe in the coming days we'll get more information. I guess with the president and his administration, good luck that they can get a deal. Either way, Liberia should be the winner. That's my only primary concern. And then they can take the political glory, because the whole thing on Facebook now, everybody celebrating. Joseph Boakai invited by Trump. Okay, yeah, that's a good thing. But I just want out of the equation. I want to see what he would take back home and the details of his plan in terms of economic or regional security. That should be the main focus. But go ahead.
Indeed, and that's the best thing. In fact, I just like everything that you said. Indeed, all of us, we got to pray, because when things get better, then we all will know exactly. And like you just stated, my brother, some of the visitation at the end of the day, we don't really get the out of the benefits, especially the common people. They don't understand anything, nothing. All they do is that they just do the politics. Oh yeah, the president go there during the previous government. Oh yeah, President Judgment, we are going to meet or how they call him. But then that the U.S. president, how they call, sorry, the one that was just there.
Barney, it was Joe Barney.
Yes, thank you, Joe Barney.
I think we are himself in, and
I think that was 2 times, right?
Yeah, the most recent one I can remember, I think, was 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he came on a couple occasions, but that's the one I can remember, 2022.
Yes, indeed. So at the end of the day, all of these things are no. So we pray, let's pray to God. But at the end of the day, some of our leaders too, they have to be fair enough to the people, instead of just sitting and acting like nothing is happening. Even if they're good news, let us know. If they're bad news, because sometimes people been speculating, former president went there and the U.S. government told not to contest, they told not to talk, so many things that was said by them. So if this kind of thing continue, then I mean the Liberian people themselves, they may not even appreciate maybe U.S. invitation anymore, because they're like, when our people go there, instead of them coming back to even tell us exactly what happened, so now they keep it to themselves and they just go quietly. Like, no, we should not say that, or maybe let us not talk about it, because when we do, maybe the citizen or maybe their oppositions, they may use it against us. But I don't think that's the right thing.
Well, that's why you got something called the Freedom of Information Act, that your people should be informed. They should be updated with this kind of international meetings, conferences, treaty ratification, all these things. That's why you need to tell your people. But in Liberia or most countries, they try to weaponize it for politics. They want to score political points. And there are instances where you come to this meeting, you want to strike a deal. If the deal, that's why you put your people interest first. I mean, the U.S. president will be in that deal to benefit the U.S. government and its people, right? So if you're the Liberian president, you come to a meeting or a summit or whatsoever, whether it's about security, economic cooperation, business, investment. If the deal doesn't work, it's not a bad thing. Maybe it was not in the interest of the Liberian people. Maybe you thought it wasn't your good deal that was going to benefit or that will benefit the Liberian people. So why you want to keep it private? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But keeping people in the dark, then that's when people are coming up with different speculation and different angle to twist it, because you are not forthcoming on the details. So if our president came to the White House and or Donald Trump or Joe Biden put forward a deal before me, if I go through the details of the deal and I believe that it will benefit America way more than Liberia, and there is nothing there for Liberia, I could choose not to sign it. But then when I'm going back, I should tell my people, you know what, this was not in your best favor. I don't think it was going to be a deal well spent in terms of bringing more resources and more economic opportunity to the country. But that's it. That's African politics. The only thing they focus on are, oh, Trump invited Joseph Boga, so we should just celebrate,
But
even
but
without knowing
but
what's going to
but,
happen.
but more to that quickly. Let us move back to the other African leaders that were also invited, including the South African leader, and he was seriously embarrassed with some of the accusation level against him, and he also challenged some of the allegations, accusations, and so forth. But later on, and President Trump was, able to play some of the videos. Are we maybe going to witness something or such, or it's just going to be like, okay, let's go and sign it, maybe an agreement, maybe let's talk behind the scene, and let's see how best that we can handle situation back in Africa, especially for Liberia, or maybe for the other African country, because there are 5. So what are you really sensing?
Well, every country case is different. Like Senegal coming for something different. Maybe Gabon will be mostly about oil. Senegal, who knows where they're coming from? Maybe, like I said, it's twofold. You got the economic cooperation, you got the national security or regional security in terms of stability. So I don't know where Liberia falls on the spectrum, whether it's we are on the economic side or on the security side. We will still get details of this meeting within the coming days. And you said it right. That's a case in point with the South African leader. Because the thing about South Africa is about the whole land grab and taking land from farmers. The same thing that happened in Zimbabwe that brought the country to her knees, that made her currency one of the most useless currency in the world. It happened. And South Africa too is also one of the corporate when it comes to instigating instability in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So, and the Congolese were just yet too in the White House to sign a deal with Trump to bring about some kind of a security, because Congo is in disarray. Everybody got their interest, their business interest when it comes to the communication and the textile industry. There are a lot of resources. Don't forget now, Congo is the richest country in the world in terms of mineral wealth. They got more natural resources. I mean, high in minerals, things like lithium, manganese, copper, things that you use for cell phone and all those stuff, coltan. So you cannot end in Congo. The thing here is, South Africa were accused as one of the players that was playing the honor hand game by destabilizing the Congolese Republic, the Congo Republic, and they are benefiting tremendously from an economic standpoint. So Trump accuses them of that too, of being one of the major instigators in the conflict in Congo. So, and the president, how they call the president, said the guy from Congo, Tshisekedi say he hoped that they can bring some kind of, he want to partner with America to bring, most importantly, security to Congo, and then they can see about forging some economic cooperation to improve their economy and to bring better living to the people of Congo. So yes, that's why the deals are all about, like I said, it's not only about coming to the White House, it's about coming with a plan, it's about knowing what you want and what are you going to give in exchange for what you want. And if you get what you want, are these incentives going to benefit your people, or you just come here to score political point and to do photo ops, because I guess why it's all about somebody pay money, got to come and take photos. At the end of the day, you cannot see. And don't forget, maybe when they come in here, they lobby, and lobbying costs money. You come to Washington, you make phone calls to people that are in the system, you pay them money before they can even set up this meeting for you. So it means you already put in money forward. The question is, are you going to get your return on investment, and what are going to be some of the most important benefits to your people? So that's where we are. But I think I will wish the rescue team well. I'm optimistic. I hope they come to the table with something good, whether it's about regional security or economic plans. I just hope they are well prepared, because you can come to the White House and you're having a meeting, especially when it comes to economic cooperation, then you don't come prepared. So I'm hoping for the best. I just hope they can get the best for the Liberian people. That's my prayer.
Wonderful. Thank you, my dear brother. Myself, also wish our leaders and our president and the rest of the team that will be going there, at least to represent Liberia well. So again, folks, if you're just joining us, this is the Wednesday edition of the SKTV show. Even though we started that with more myself, we're supposed to talk about a little bit about some social issues, but we're already into the conversation with so many things to talk about and to also discuss. And you too, you will also be part later on. That will be at 7:30 this evening, at which time you will also call him. But Mark, you were sharing some social video in the future. What happened quickly before we go back to the entire reburial and so on? Well, I saw you sharing a lot of social issues.
Yeah, I tag you guys to that lady. We'll get a short little video with a little script on it. And she talked about all the things that men go through, like your bill, the responsibility. And that's the reason men die much earlier than women, right? We are expected to produce, we are expected to be a success in life. The pressure, the societal expectation is much higher for men than women. You never hear them calling a woman a failure in life. You don't hear that, oh, she's not that educated and there's nothing. I mean, no problem for them. But for men, you're supposed to take care of the family, so be the head of the home. You got to be successful. You got to make sure you do everything humanly possible to put food on the table for your family. So that extra pressure. So exactly what she was saying, she said, like, some of you guys are literally buying your own high blood pressure and stress, because with all these things in the home, and then you get side chick, and the side chick too is also coming with expectation, and she needs something, because at the end of the day, we live in the modern world. People need material things. We live in the consumerized world now, or consumerism, how you might call it. People want something. So not all love is about love now. Somebody want return. The women say want something. So if you already under pressure at home to take care of the family, then why would you want to add side chick to the menu? Then it means you get buying more pressure and more heart trouble, and you might be dying pretty soon. I get exactly what she meant to say. So she was wanting men to cut down some of the expense and be loyal and be faithful and focus on your home rather than adding more side chick.
Seriously, Mark, actually, when I was on, I also talk about that. Because mind you, with the men, sometimes we bring in some stress, unknown stress to ourselves. You know, because sometimes someone is stressed, we will be thinking that, okay, my home is stressful, so let me go out there to find peace. But when you go out there, there's no peace there. You are really going to make yourself, in fact, you're going to make things worse. And
no, maybe, but let me stop you right there. When you talk about your, though, I'm not going to buy into that. When you say your home is stressful, when you're going out there to find peace, there are so many places you can find peace. So what is your definition of peace when you live in your home, when the home is stressful?
No, I agree, but Mark, here's the reason, or in fact, these are things that some of us men will say. I hope that you're getting something from me, because I'm saying that most of us men, we think that our homes are all stressful, so we're always going out there to find peace. That's where most of the problems come in. Now my wife is giving me a hard time. I have no peace. I have no freedom. I want to go out. I have to chill nowhere. In fact, I have to be among my friends. I have to watch football game. Nobody, everything men keep complaining that they are not getting, or maybe they are not getting the kind of freedom. So the thing I'm saying is that sometimes we wrongly accuse the women, in the name of us not getting peace, and we'll go out there now for peace, my brother, thing get worse, because they just stated there are no men that will go around somebody that, for example, a lady, and sit down and be thinking that, oh, the woman left. No, everybody want money. Let me say to most of us men, everybody on this I want money. So that lady, she pretending like, in fact, she not want money. And at the end of the day, you have to help her. You got to give her something. You got to be a help to her. So, Monk, I stand with you on that. But it's just that so many reasons. These are kind of more poor reasons that we give out of the time that I had to go out there to find this person. They person to pretending that, in fact, they love me so much. And not because They want to get something out of me. So we men, more we die younger, we die sooner than the women, just because we take all of the stress and put it on ourselves. So
yeah, but Melvin, that's it. I mean, you just said exactly what I said, and from a different angle, that's just the reality. It all depends on the definition of peace. You could go out, you could chill with your friends, you could hang out, but going to enter into another relationship in the name of peace because you feel your home is unstable, and if the wife is complaining, more than likely, maybe there are certain things that you are doing. I mean, women can complain, we all know that, but not in all cases, it can be the women's fault. Sometimes our own lifestyle can be the reason why these women are going to be complaining. We are not disciplined, we don't know when to be home, we want to be out there. So there are so many reasons. So just because a woman is mad with you, don't necessarily mean you should go find another trouble and to increase your responsibility by getting or side chick or side girlfriend in the name of finding peace. I could go to an entertainment area. I could go and watch a soccer game and scream. That's a form of releasing stress. But you already got the bills to pay, the children's school fee, the salary cannot even meet up with your monthly expense. Why would you want to indulge in infidelity by bringing another girlfriend in? And this girlfriend coming with her own baggage. Maybe she got a son or a daughter or children. She got her uncle that might be calling you. Maybe someone might need help. Maybe the mom is sick. So that's what she was saying. Why would you want to keep adding more stress if you are carrying the weight of the war already in everything? Men carry, when women talk about equality, like, what are you talking about? When you read history, people that went to war, people that built great empires, the people that built a skyscraper. When you're walking downtown, even in America, this construction, these skyscrapers and things, all these inventions, how many women do you see participating in it? I'm not trying to disparage them. I mean, you contribute, but when we're talking about the brunt of the burden in society, men are the one that carry it. So don't bring that talk to me and about equality, how women are getting educated. Okay, I understand that, but we all know, the reality is 90%
you're right,
of the burden on this planet.
I even see a female engineer or somebody who was
How often do you
scientist.
see women engineers or scientists? No, the
It's
last time
difficult.
I invented something, or some of the most innovative technology that came up. How many women you heard that name in it? So don't bring that talk to me. All I'm saying is, when people understand their role and responsibility, it becomes easier. As men, we don't want to put extra burden on ourselves because the burden we are carrying is just too much already. But anyway, let's move on, Mabel. It's up to you.
Yeah, man, there I go, because there are so many things happening, so many things to talk about. Even though I saw you again sharing another post about P. Daddy, and at least that story, myself, I had a little interest, but I move on to our local politics. What say you with the entire burial, reburial, and so forth? And according to information, again, President Waka to host National Healing, Reconciliation, and Unity Program honoring victims of Civil War, Ebola, and COVID-19. And in fact, that will be on the 5th of July. That will be that Saturday, Saturday, July 5th. That will be at the Ellie Johnson Sktv Ministerial Complex in Congotan. So our leaders, President Joseph Yamabwaka, will be having commitment of national unity and historical justice and for reconciliation, according to this information, and remembering of deaths and so forth. But what say you, my brother, in the midst of all of these things? What say you, starting from the late Samuel Kayando and his wife, Mananese Do, and in fact, that burial was done sometime last week. That spark of mixed reactions. People have their own say and so on, and also from there, the president and the government, they stop there. They also continue with also the burial of, or the reburial of William R. Talbot and other people that were executed on the pole. But what say you in the midst of everything?
Well, for me, I think it's a great gesture. Symbolically, it's not a bad thing to give statesmen or befitting funeral and remembering their legacy. But the only problem is when you try to be politicized, then it becomes a big problem. That's what my issue is. I respect those great presidents. They did what they had to do, and giving them a befitting burial is not a bad thing. But the thing is, I think the process being repeated. My definition of true reconciliation would be an economic prosperity for most Liberians. I think it will do more than anything. That's my interpretation of reconciliation, because the last time we saw George Weah with the Ballon d'Or, and they had this whole tournament, they fanfare about the Okocha and the Drogba coming to Liberia to play a soccer match. whether it was the Liberia cry for peace, I've been hearing about reconciliation for the longest. I just cannot see true reconciliation. That's all I can say. Whether it was the Tobago Tipote Suzuki group about national unity, we've been hearing these things from the day of the interim government about healing and national unity, about growing the Palava heart. But in reality, I don't see that. I can't point to any sources of that. The only thing I can see now is like people trying to score political points. But I'm saying giving formal statement or befitting burial is not a bad thing. It's just that true national unity and reconciliation will be an economic prosperity and people getting the shot to make a better living or a better life. That's how I would see it. When the country is doing better, trust me, people will move away from the past because we cannot relive this past. The things that happen like bro already happened, we cannot change them. We can only forge forward into the future, and that is by empowering people. When people are empowered, when you can produce more economic opportunity, when people can climb the social ladder, then to reconcile will be a much easier thing to do. You don't have too much animosity, all what is then. That's just how I see it. But until then, that's what the president chooses to do, and that's what he's doing. Not a bad thing. We just want to see results. For me, my thing when it comes to Labrador, it's not about the optics. It's not about having this program, going to this occasion, coming up with a program. Man, thing I'm always looking for the return on investment. I would say on the show on SKTV all the time, when presidents travel, when they make international trips, I just want to know what you are bringing home and how the average man can relate to that. If the Irish man is doing better in Liberia, when things are becoming okay economically and people children are in school and they can afford living and people talking about their wages being paid on time, for me, that's a plus and that's success. I don't know how you define success, but that would be my definition of success. Anything outside of that, whether it's from Unity Party or from the CDC, no, I'm not interested in that. But it's not a bad thing either, you know. I applaud the president. We just want to see real, genuine reconciliation in the country, and I believe like an economic boom would be the one that will bring real prosperity and reconciliation in the country. Other than that, I don't see anything else. Everything else is just an occasion, another day to take aside and to go and read the history and talk about the past, who offended who or what. Like I said, there have been countless programs held in Liberia about unity. I don't know which one to take, from the Ballon d'Or to the reburial of Doe and President Tobo, to the Liberia Cry for Peace Initiative, to ECOBOG, to International Peacekeeper, to programs that were held all over the country in the name of national reconciliation. Town hall meeting under the Palava Hall, discussing our grievances. People from Grand Jesus going to Nema County, dedicate. I have been seeing these things over years. The question is, can we point out to say that all these initiatives yield result? I don't know if you can name some other result, maybe. That's where the problem is for me.
Well, thank you, Monk. Even though I have so many follow-up questions for you, but because mind you, if you go back to the TRC or the Truth and Reconciliation Committee, as you may call it, so that was also said that means let's reconcile, let's confess, and then reconcile. You know, that's the best way to go. But after, I think there were so many recommendations that were made into that TRC, and that those of our leaders that they participated into the war, they shouldn't have any close connection with anything that had to do with power that be. That means they shouldn't contest and so forth, and they shouldn't be given any appointment or so forth. And I think they challenged that, according to what I got of the information, that they challenged that and they went to court. And the court tell them that, yes, in fact, it is your right for you to contest. And today, yeah, we always say into the same mess that we may call, that we try to really stay away from, but today we're into that. So with all of reconciliation, truth and reconciliation, all kind of thing, reconciling our people here, are these things genuine? Or
they are not genuine. They are not genuine, Mabon. That's why I keep saying they are not genuine because we cannot see the fruit. Mabon, anytime you do something with an intent. You want to see your result, right? That's the reason you engage into certain activity. In the case of Liberia, because accountability and bringing people to justice is also a form of accountability. When you talk about we should examine the Palava Hall to discuss our grievances and to move past this thing, the people who brought about the TRC came up with recommendation, whether it was sanction, bringing people to court, and about banning them from running for public office. You never went by the recommendation of the PRC. So what make you think by removing some dead body to go and rebury it somewhere else going to bring about truth and reconciliation. Like I said, since I was a kid in Liberia, I've been hearing about reconciliation. They've been having countless programs, so many days in Liberia we talk about truth and reconciliation. But at the end of the day, you cannot see any genuine result, any tangible result, whether it was a wartime memorial, some kind of monument somewhere in honor of the fallen people, whether you are bringing people to justice, whether it's about war crime code. The war crime code is also a form of accountability. If you cannot bring a war crime code, why make you think that going to Dohun and taking his arches, whether that his arches or not, why make you think that will bring about genuine reconciliation? That's why I keep telling you, if people are doing better in the country, we will move past this thing. Because we are, look, maybe you cannot live the past. You can only learn from the mistake of the past, moving into the future. So
Indeed.
when you start doing the right thing, and people will get a sense of accountability, and people believe that, you know what, there is genuine reconciliation. You think when the country is doing okay, and you are fighting drugs and crime, and people getting a salary on time, and civil servants getting paid, you think there will be any kind of animosity in society? People will move past those things. People will believe that, you know what, the country is getting back on the right track, and gradually they will reconcile, they will move on. It's just part of human nature for you to move on. But these things, like I said, they are mostly about politics. They are not interested in real and genuine reconciliation.
And we've gone nearly 19 years into all of the hauling and pulling, reconciliation. Every time you see them, they put budget together. They have the culture troop. They have all of the people coming out. You know, people have their own way of eating money. They get their own budget. They finish eating. Then they say, yeah, they're going to we were on the Palava Hut. We reconcile. And you're right, Monk. Look, that would be fair enough. Like I was thinking about something like our leaders during election time. Let's be able to have the commitment bond. Maybe something that will tell you that if you don't do this, we will be able to remove you immediately. But we'll be afraid because of this TRC. People were cajole. They told you that TRC recommendation came out and tell you that all of these people that participated into the war, they shouldn't be given any position. But the court said no, it is their right. So tomorrow, even if it was some commitment bond, like I was really thinking about that because of the behavior of our lawmakers. Now you got some commitment bond, the same court will come and tell you no, it's not in the constitution. So you see what we're heading to. So all of the peace, reconciliation, and this and that, I think you just stated something that the best thing to do is create jobs. Make sure that people are getting salaries in time. Make sure that at least the least salary now will be 300 USD at least per month. That will be better. Then we have almost just 5%. I saw a post coming from one of our brother. It calculated everything that all the money that we're giving to the lawmakers, even they can even create jobs, even for Liberian people. And that's true. All of you out there by rights will be taking pay. That's the genuine reconciliation. Let's reconcile with you the way we've been treating you, even though some of you lost all of your family members, people died from you during the war, things happened to you, mentally you are ill. So let us reconcile. Yeah, but Mom,
let me tell you something. Here's the funny part, right? The people who claim that they're trying to engage in genuine reconciliation. When you go to the TRC report, if you were fortunate enough to have read a report, you will see a whole lot of recommendations. They were talking about rehabilitation, even reparation, that is giving some financial incentive to people that were direct victims of the war. They never even follow up on those recommendations, whether it was about the sexual harassment statutes that should be put in place when it comes to institutional reform, the Palava Hut Commission, all these things were never implemented. So what make you think I would sit here and believe that whether it's Joseph Boaga or George Weah, they are really interested in engaging into some genuine reconciliation? I don't think so. Because the recommendations were made, we went through the steps, people came and gave their testimonies and everything all over the country. So, and one thing that they did, they make sure that they weaponize for financial gain the very same genuine reconciliation. Because for everything they come up with the committee, guess what? People will get paid, or money will be allocated in the budget for them to engage in this activity, and at the end of the day, you cannot see no fruitful outcome. That's where the problem is. So for me, I'm not buying anything, no matter the optics, no matter the ceremony and all the fanfare. I'm not going to subscribe to it, because I believe when it comes to true and genuine reconciliation, we are far from that. And some of them used to complain, oh, Monk, I one of those that criticized the whole soccer match with the Ballon d'Or ceremony when the African player came. Like, You just going to spend $500,000 for this nonsense. You play a single game at the SKD Sports Stadium, you wave people party, they have sex all over the place. How does that translate to genuine reconciliation all over the country? It's just another way to eat money, to steal money, and to take advantage of public resources, because I don't see this whole thing of genuine reconciliation. I can give any incident to say, you know what, this is a proof that we are making progress coming back together now. So it's nothing but a total waste of time, a total resources. I mean, no disrespect to the fallen soldiers and the heroes and former leaders, but at the end of the day, we are not ready for genuine reconciliation. We are still divided as a people and as a culture, whether it's on tribal land, sectarian land. The realities are there, and I cannot see progress on speaking of genuine reconciliation and moving forward, maybe. People make more money from this thing than even the result we can get.
Seriously, Mark, and people are metal. Let me be frank. Those of you out there today, even there's no difference between the working class and the non-working class. So who are you reconciling with? Monk. So you see, look, this life of ours, sometimes when I see these things, like something, it's good. Normally I have issue with all of these things. But you can make other people to feel like their lives is not also important. All these, let me tell some of you out there, maybe you don't even know, all that people you see that with all the photos you see fly, all the, it's not free of charge. That money, that budget. They have all of the budget. They have the money to spend for all the things.
But you saw it when the new government came about the whole inauguration ceremony, where money that were allocated for the congressional district to get people to be up, and for the merry-making aspect of the Bwaka presidency. Guess what? We couldn't give account. That money disappeared. I think 600,000. Think about 600,000 US dollars to be distributed among the 73 congressional districts in the country, and everything vanished in thin air. That even the parties officials themselves were saying we cannot account. It's the same thing that happened with all these ceremony and program. They allocate money, they steal the same money, they weaponize it, and at the end of the day, you don't get nothing in return. It's nothing but a fanfare, nothing but photo ops. It's just another day taken to do something. Yeah, like I said, I respect those former leaders. I pay homage to them. I respect the legacy that they established. But we that are alive, the people that run the affair of the state, they are not interested in real reconciliation. Matter of fact, they use this ceremony to even steal further from the Liberian people. That's just why.
Yes, money, you are correct. Because sometimes there's some money that, for example, some kind of money sitting somewhere, that money, no, what kind of wicked country, no, what kind of wicked people that are living in the country more? And how they behave. Sometimes some of the monies are no use. So the only thing they will do is, okay, find somewhere, just find somewhere and look, whoa, find somewhere so they can get the money out. Hey, man. Even if the money has no use, carry the monies in these federal counties and build a community school, build an elementary school, at least for our people. What is you choose to get the money out because you want to eat the money. So the only thing you will do is to find some kind of way. Now let me tell some of you people, maybe you don't know this thing. And how the people behave. If the money has no use, they say, okay, so what can we do now? They say, Mama, organize on a workshop. And
you know what happened in this country, right? You talk about inaugural ceremony, the president wins the election, right? You're using government resources. That is that is illegal. In this country, when the president wins an election, his entire inaugural ceremony is financed by his campaign funds, people that make generous contribution. So the fire matter, you look at someone spending $600,000. That's little over $500,000 just to be distributed to among the various congressional districts. And that money vanished in thin air. You look at that money like, wow, it's the very same thing that will happen when you take office, because it's no different. You are the one that won the election, just your own ceremony, and 600,000 is missing before you can even step into the executive mansion. Why do you think that's going to happen when you are giving the state resources to preside over? Why do you think it's going to happen?
Yeah, thank you, my brother. So let's go for the news break. I'm still waiting for our news team when they come. Then we will continue with that. By 7:30, we'll go to the lounge to interact with our people. But indeed, it is indeed interesting that our people will continue to go through this over and over. And all they do is let's wait 2029. After 2029, they will wait for
20 to 35.
2031. Yeah, look.
If to say 6 years, that's 6 weeks. That's how they can make it a sunlight. Let's just wait. Waiting
They
what?
can be looking at phone to the people. More than they can be looking at phone to the people. I don't know how. People are enjoying. They're living one of the best of life that they want to live. You can't even afford a day. But you're talking about you waiting. Waiting for what?
6 years, yeah. You even get healthcare. I saw some video I share with you guys. Somebody conducting or performing surgery in an unfinished building. I like the people that even go to for the men to perform surgery, like you don't have regard for your own life. I might as well die by myself than to go to that man looking at that facility and you telling me say you're going to perform a surgery on me with bottles or tablets on the table. He got
just
some.
because they don't want to pay money, but anyway, Mark, we'll go for the news break.
All
When
right,
we come back, we will. Yeah, indeed. Thank you, my dear brother.
A pleasant good evening, RCR News Bulletin at 7. My name is Maka Davis. In the headlines, President Boakai to host National Healing, Reconciliation and Unity Program honoring victims of the Civil War, Ebola, and COVID-19. Grand jury for Montserrat County finally indicts former House Speaker Fonati Kofa and 14 others in connection to the alleged burning of the Capitol building on December 18, 2024. A lady arrested with 100,000 United States dollars worth of drugs has been convicted and sentenced to 3 years, 6 months at the Monrovia Central Prison. And away from Liberia, Ugandan military helicopter catches fire in deadly Somalia crash, according to the BBC. Those are the headlines. Now the news in detail. In a continuation of his administration's commitment to national unity and historical justice, President Joseph Boakai will host a national healing, reconciliation, and unity program on Saturday, July 5 at the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex in Kampata, Monrovia. The program follows the dignified and historic reburial ceremonies of two of Liberia's former leaders, President William R. Tobert and President Samuel Kedo, whose lives were lost during periods of national unrest. These ceremonies, according to the Executive Mansion, being held in June and July, respectively, marked a critical step in the Boakai administration's broader effort to foster national healing from the painful chapters of Liberia's past. Announcing the upcoming event, Dr. Jaso Jala, Minister of Education and chairperson of the National Reburial and Reconciliation Committee, emphasized that this national gathering will honor not only the memories of Liberians' former leaders, but also the thousands of citizens who perished during the country's brutal civil conflict, the deadly Ebola epidemic, and the devastating COVID-19 pandemic. The grand jury for Montserrat County has finally indicted former House Speaker Fonati Kofa and 14 others in connection to the alleged burning of the Capitol building on December 18, 2024. The defendants' unsealed indictments, according to RCR judicial correspondent, were unveiled to them on Wednesday at Criminal Court A. Those indicted include Kava Ba, alias Kaba, Jerry Poker, alias Terry's, Stephen Mbro, John Yanti, Dixon Sibo, J. Fonati Kofa, Patient Bestman, Caroline Grace Johnson, Abu Kamara, Jacob Deby, Christian Kofa, Amos Kofa, Eric Susi, and Amos Etheridge, along with others yet to be identified. The defendants are charged for criminal attempts to commit murder, criminal mischief, criminal conspiracy, criminal facilitation, criminal solicitation, release of destructive forces, reckless burning or exploding, and reckless endangering another person. Our judicial correspondent said the indictment now paves the way for trial proceedings during the August term of court before Criminal Court A. Last Thursday, the Monrovia City Court granted criminal appearance bonds for the defendants. Following this decision, the clerk of the court was instructed to forward the case to the First Judicial Circuit, Criminal Court A, for prosecution. The lady arrested with 100,000 United States dollars worth of drugs has been convicted and sentenced to 3 years, 6 months at the Monrovia Central Prison. Defendant Rita Williams, according to RCR judicial correspondent, was sentenced on Wednesday by Judge Joe Bacon. Judge Bacon's 3 years, 6 month punishment was triggered by the defendant's open confession in court to the crime to avoid longer jail term. Defendant Rita Williams admitted to smuggling 1.9 kilograms of cocaine valued at 100,000 United States dollars to Liberia through the Liberia-Sierra Leone border, where she was arrested by the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. The Citizen Movement for Change, CMC, has received 2 vehicles from its political leader, Representative Musa Belete. The vehicles, according to Representative Belete, are meant to enhance the operations of various organs of the party. The new pickups were officially handed over on Wednesday, July 2, 2025, at the party's headquarters in Monrovia. One was presented to the chair of the National Women Congress and the other to the chairperson for National Auxiliaries. A board resolution obtained by this station has confirmed that the suspended Director General of the Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority, Christopher Sankolo, was officially authorized by the institution's board to open an account with the United Bank of Africa. President Joseph Boakai on June 26 suspended both Sankolo and his deputy for administration and finance, Chie Gali, over allegations of financial misconduct and unauthorized financial transactions. The suspensions came amid allegations that the 2 top executives had conspired to open a separate bank account at UBA outside of the recognized and approved LACRA account with the alleged intent of diverting institutional funds for unauthorized use. However, the resolution directly contradicts those rumors. The document, titled Board of Directors Resolution 03, was signed and adopted on April 4, 2025, by all members of the LACRA board during its first quarter sitting held at the agency's headquarters at the Freeport of Monrovia. Among the key decisions contained in the resolution was the formal authorization for LACRA management under the leadership of Sankolo to open an additional account with UBA. This documentation adds a new dimension to the ongoing scandal, revealing that the decision to open the UBA account was not made unilaterally by Sankolo and his deputy, but was instead an authorized directive from the LACRA board. The resolution indicates that the account opening was one component of a broader set of institutional approvals that were passed during the board meeting. According to the document, the board also approved LACRA's 2025 work plan and operational budget, projecting a revenue stream of $2,789,878 United States dollars and planned expenditures of $2,275,148 United States dollars, leaving a surplus of $514,730 US dollars. The resolution mandated the LACRA management to undertake the renovation of the defunct Lofas LPMC warehouses and offices, among others. You are listening to a bulletin of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. We broadcast from Dupont Road in Peaceville, outside the nation's capital, Monrovia. In more news, the president of the University of Liberia, Dr. Lily Mapayan, is expected to serve as the guest lecturer on the second edition of the newly launched program, University of the Air. This Friday, Dr. Mapayan will present on university or college administration in general and administering the University of Liberia in particular. The program was launched recently by the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiative, LMDR, and Radio Zimane 90.3 FM. According to LMDI Executive Director John Colley, Dr. Mapayan will address a maximum of 100 students from various colleges of the university in a 30-minute presentation as a lecturer and be allowed another 30 minutes of interaction with the attending students. Director Colley said the University of the Air is designed by the LMDR and Radio Zimmerman for pure tertiary public education by the mass media, especially radio, and features professors and tertiary school leaders. Speaking via phone to RCR News, John Colley said, University of the Air takes the format of a pre-recorded radio and TV program, bringing together tertiary students and their professors in a classroom-style settings monthly at tertiary schools across the nation in fields of study via radio and general electronic media outlets in Liberia. According to him, the first edition of University of the Air was held at the Peter Kokwe School of Journalism on Thursday, June 13 this year. The former campaign spokesperson of the Coalition for Democratic Change, Kanu Bala, has defended his recent appreciation of President Boakai, stating that it was not intended as a criticism of the CDC, but rather a gesture in support of national reconciliation. Recently, the CDC stalwart took to his official media or social media page to commend the Boakai Kun administration for the reburial of former President Samba Doe, stating it was something the CDC administration could have done. Kanyo Bagbala also, that's Councillor Kanyo Bagbala, who is now an assistant professor of law at the Louis Arthur Graham School of Law, comments were met with mixed reactions, particularly from within the CDC. Some members accused him of seeking employment and embarrassing the party. But speaking recently in an interview on state radio, Councillor Bagbala maintained that any leader who undertakes a significant national initiative should be acknowledged regardless of political affiliation. Meanwhile, reflecting on Liberia's political history, Councillor Bagbala noted that Grangida County has consistently supported the CDC in every election since 2005. He said the CDC missed a great opportunity by not honoring former President Doe in such a manner. The Civil Law Court has issued a writ of summons on the Congress for Democratic Change, represented by and through its national chairman, Attorney Janga Kowo, in connection to the property hosting the party's headquarters in Kongata, Monrovia. George Smith's re-summons, according to RCR judicial correspondent, is as a result of the CDC leadership alleged refusal to receive the first summons from the court. The property owner is demanding that the Congress for Democratic Change vacate the premises following the Supreme Court's decision. The lawyer for the administrator of the late Martha Stubblefield Bernard estate, Councillor Johnny Momo, according to our correspondent, has submitted a 6-count petition of summary proceedings to recover possession of real property to the court for CDC's eviction. Councillor Momo's request, among other things, accused the CDC leadership of being an undesirable tenant and therefore demands their eviction consistent with Chapter 62, Section 63.22 of the Civil Procedure Law of Liberia. Prior to Councillor Johnny Momo's application to the court, the owner of the property hosting the CDC headquarters demanded that the party vacate on June 10, 2025, or risk eviction following the Supreme Court's May 28, 2025 opinion that led to the dismissal of the bit of information filed by the legal team of the party. In continuous effort to expand its mission of preaching and teaching in Liberia, the Independent Catholic Church of Liberia has ordained new priests. The Mass for the ordination of priests was held at the Cheerful Giver Cathedral in Johnsonville, Montserrat County on Sunday, June 29, this year. Reverend Father B.N. Koluba and Reverend Father Philibert Lambo Nimne were ordained in the presence of the congregation, foreign guests, and family members. During the ceremony, the head of the Independent Catholic Church of Liberia, Bishop Nimne Doyen, charged the new priests to remain committed to the service of God and humanity. He urged them to live a life that represents Christ Jesus as a servant and savior of mankind. Bishop Doyen also challenged the new priests to carry out the ministry of Jesus Christ with genuine love towards humanity, attending not to their own concerns but those of Christ. The occasion was also graced by Archbishop John Milton of the African American Congregation in the United States. Speaking to RCR News following the ordination, Archbishop Milton expressed concerns about the challenging living condition of people in Liberia and the need to work together in solving the problem facing humanity. He urged the new priest to help lead the people of God by giving hope and preaching out, while praising Bishop Doyen for going out to seek help for people in need in Liberia. And away from Liberia, a Ugandan military helicopter crashed and caught fire at the Main International Airport in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, killing 5 people on board. The pilot, co-pilot, and flight engineer survived with serious injuries and severe burns. Ugandan military spokesman Major General Felix Kulangwi said, adding that an investigation into the cause of the crash was underway. Well, to end this news bulletin, a recap of the headlines. President Joseph Boakai to host National Healing, Reconciliation, and Unity Program honoring victims of the Liberian Civil War, Ebola, and COVID-19. The grand jury of Montserrat County has finally indicted former House Speaker Funati Kofa and 14 others in connection to the alleged burning of the Capitol building in December last year. Lady arrested with 100,000 United States dollar worth of cocaine, convicted and sentenced to 3 years, 6 months at the Monrovia Central Prison. And away from Liberia, a Ugandan military helicopter crashed and caught fire at the Main International Airport in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, killing 5 people on board, according to the BBC. That's RCR News Bulletin at 7. My name is Maka Davis.
Yeah, Monk and Monk. So we're back. After the news bulletin, I guess you are following. If so, maybe you want to chip in quickly on some of the things you heard in the news.
Oh no, I wasn't following. I usually when the news bulletin is going on, something I can when I go back to the show, I just skip after the show, like evening time, I can just skip back to that particular segment and just get it update. But I can use that time to take a break and go and come back. I can just tell me.
Wonderful. So let's continue with our discussion, even though that's the same thing. Yes, indeed, the president, the reburial, and so forth, and these are some of the happenings and the same new. So again, let's move on with our discussion. Yeah. So what say you? Because you were talking about the entire reconciliation and so forth, the life of our people, and There are so many observations into the entire burial and reburial ceremony. Like for example, Monk, I was thinking, like we stated that sometimes some of these things they know genuine, maybe quote unquote we say that there's nothing much that our people are going to benefit. So I was thinking, okay, say the president want to do this, maybe the 250%, 250,000 people that lost their lives, to think about them and so forth, and the Ebola people and so forth. So can we do it like, okay, since that's the case, can we do it across the entire country instead of only right here in Maserati? Because mind you, Maserati or the national capital is not Liberia, but everything here is all
Yeah.
about the national capital. Then what happened to the people that in Maryland?
Mhm.
What happened to the people that in Lofa County? What happened to the people that in Grand Bassa? And what happened to the people that in Nimba? Monk?
That's why some of us frown on the Ballon d'Or ceremony, because the thing that is you limit everything into the country. Yeah, moreover, all Montserrat County is part of Liberia. That's a hotbed, that's a political and economic capital of the country. But the fact that when you talk about true and genuine reconciliation, my understanding will be some of the counties that were the hardest hit, some of the tribes that were hardest, that were targeted, and some of the, I would say, genocide that happened in Liberia, massacre, like maybe like they will say places like, let me see, let's just say Nima County and Grangida County, the how they call it, Dusa massacre, and all these strategic area. You want to go over there and meet the elders and the chief and some of the people. You host a ceremony, you engage in the town hall style meeting throughout the entire country. It's a national program. There I know you are talking about something very genuine. But you come and play a soccer game. Okota County Liberia, Drama County Liberia, you go in SKD, you pass around with Ballon d'Or, you kick the ball, your merry the weekend ends. Is that something you call genuine reconciliation? How can a kid in Plebo be able to relate to the reconciliation in the country? But if you get a nationwide campaign where people are discussing in Palawa Hall, bringing
Thank you.
agreements,
Hold on.
doing the discussion for, let's say, for 30 days, a particular committee is in panel to do that with the advice and the consent of the president. Maybe he can supervise or maybe show face to some of these live events happening. Then I can tell you that, you know what, even though it would take time to get a result, but at least you are making a genuine effort. But you just take a symbolic bodies or bones and whatsoever. Some of them we cannot even verify whether they are the true remains of the president. I mean, like I said, I understand the contribution they've made. I understand, may their soul rest in peace. But we got to move on. And how are we moving on? By being genuine, by being very decisive about what we are doing, moving into the future, so we cannot repeat the mistake. But if you are weaponizing this event just for the sake of money, then it becomes an issue. If you want to score political point, then it's not. Then you are not into reconciliation. So my thing here is, I will be asking the callers today when they call, what is that definition of genuine reconciliation, and what they need to see in Liberia to believe that we are moving forward in that direction when it comes to genuine reconciliation.
And more than second to that, because we are 50-50, according to their own, maybe quote unquote, the statistic that came out, and they were boasting of that statistics that indeed they were happy that at least the country is 50-50. I don't know who will feel happy in that form, man, but again, they were happy and they were parading all around. So to have people 50-50, that means you have to do exactly what you just did that 1 month and get everybody on board, whether it's the media, whether it's the opposition, whether it's whatsoever, get everybody on board and let everybody be able to be part of all of the process. But other than that, because people from Maryland County, they want to see former President Weah and the other President Joseph Yamabwaka walking or even shaking hands.
Yeah.
People from Lofa County, they want to see the same thing. People from Nima County, they want to see the same thing. People from Grand Bassa and the rest of the entire counties or the country. So to just go in this form and manner to say, okay, let's just do it this way, at least so that the program, not that father will finish reconciling. I don't think we will achieve the true intent that you just stated. Because it's just like wasting water on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call it on total.
Let me tell you what's happening. They are doing it for political purposes. They want a photo op. They want to say, oh, Bwaka was the only person that really brought about a reconciliation process. But I know that's not the case. So for the UPS and the rescuers, they will want to score political points. That's why it's all about here. It's not about the real reconciliation, because the one thing that separates Liberia from any other country, other countries went through the similar civil crisis like in Sierra Leone, but there were certain measures that they implemented. In the case of Liberia, they couldn't even follow up on their own recommendation for the so-called TRC. And the TRC stuff, it was a process, right? But the question is, if you engage in genuine reconciliation for the TRC and they made recommendation, and you couldn't even follow up on a recommendation, then you are not ready for genuine reconciliation. So if the TRC cannot give me genuine reconciliation, what make it think that Joseph Boakai attending some symbolic funeral is going to change the narrative?
And that's the part. You're right, Mark, because the TRC, all of us today been talking about the war crime code. Oh yeah, let the war crime code come. Let the war crime code come. But all of these things, the foundation of the war crime code is it is the TRC.
Yeah.
So if you say, okay, to hell with the TRC, for example, or let's put the TRC aside, then I don't know what are we really going to do.
I'm not cutting you off, right?
Yeah,
you will continue. The TRC, even though the war crime code was one of the major factors people are looking at, but the TRC made so many other recommendations, like even reparation, right? Some people were killed unjustifiably, right? And the TRC even recommend reparation, that is to compensate the family financially to make up for that loss. Whether it was about reforming or certain institutions, sexual harassment statute, whether it was the National Palaha Committee, there were so many recommendations and they never follow up on any one of them. I don't know of the most important one that they follow up on, but the fact of the matter is, even though the war crime code the most important thing, but still, even the list, some of the lists that could have been done, they were not even interested. So what make you think that a president only going to some symbolic funeral service going to make me to believe that we are on the path to truth and reconciliation or bringing the country back together? No, that's political. Everybody want to put points on the board. It's all politics. That's how I will sum it up. What you are witnessing is total charade in politics. That's the whole objective of this thing. That's why you see happening.
And more because actually we are heavily divided, and you hear people talking. People are also frustrated with the way things are going. I don't know how come politics are now becoming like, if I don't speak to me, I will not speak to you. If you even call my name, I will attack you. Even if you're not on my camp, I will insult you. But all of these things, I think, for me, this president may have succeeded in bringing out the rightful way. I need to get this thing done, because that's a good step. But I think there are some procedure errors, like bring all of the people, whether they are oppositions, whether they are ruling position, whosoever person, like just said, people have to be paid, because people lost their lives. People lost everything they own, even up to that mark. There are other people that properties. Other people take it away from them because they don't have land deeds. Other people, they don't even have access to their properties anymore. So there are so many things that happen. So I think if the president really want to maybe succeed in the entire reconciliation stuff, it shouldn't be like the money just stay there. They just bluff. You will come and you do it of the budget. But at the end of the day, there's just few people that will benefit from the entire budget. Then the rest of the people, they will not be seeing photos. They will not be seeing pictures, we can call it. They will only be seeing videos. And at the end of the day, guess what? They will go back and say, oh yeah, the president reconciled in that frustrated mood, because they are already frustrated. They know exactly that what they wanted is not what's happening. Same politicians.
Let me ask you a question. We just saw something recently. Optics is more important. The human brain and the human mind can remember, or it can picture images better than words, right? When the president of Ghana turned over power, Nana Akufo-Addo, to John Mahama, you saw the kind of a relationship, you saw the visit, right? The visitation, right? That personal level, that constant communication. When was the last time that George Weah and Joseph Boakai even had a meaningful conversation? I mean, just on a personal level, whether it's just about talking like randomly or just having that open line of communication between two former presidents. When last you saw that happen?
Nothing, just because, guess what, Monk? I think you ever stated that I think once upon a time you said that just because they feel that we are still active, I think that's where most of the problems last. Like, oh yeah, we are still active and we are may contest. Okay, granted. Is it a bad thing for someone to contest?
No.
I don't get it. President Joseph Yema Bouaka, but then you are now up to tax and we want, but still the former president also there for him. Back to back, even we saw, look, let's be frank with all of these disagreements, everything today that we're talking about among. When former president we took over, he called all of the opposition, including even the CMC political leader. And they all went there for the meeting, I think less than either 1 or 2 months. And they went there for that meeting. They all, even former president, we went to President Jota Yemambwaka's house. All the photos were parading here and there. Even if you had political issues, man, for God's sake, those of you that are even advancing our president, you don't do the right thing for our country. Let me be frank. Because what kind of advance is that?
So that's
maybe they never contest. Yeah, so that's the thing there. Because they feel that president, former president, where he's a threat, he will contest. So just because of that, they don't want to make him maybe quote unquote popular. That was the time.
Well, that's why it is. That's why I say it's always the politics. The politics always take precedent. They will always take center stage. Because for men who cannot even open a line of communication with an ex-president just to have some personal conversation, I don't know how you can reunite an entire country where you got deep-seated hatred and animosity between tribal groups and individuals from different religious backgrounds. I don't know how you're going to do it. But like I said, the perception here is the country is heavily divided, and one guy, they believe he stay active, so they are thinking into the future. Anyway, that's why I keep saying, the longer we stay in any way, shape, or form, the longer we stay between Unity Party and CDC, the worse it gets for Liberia. Because it's like anything one president can do, I can do better. Because the same thing you saw with the whole reconciliation for Georgia only was a soccer match, right? For Joseph Bouaka, I got to create the same perception. I got to engage into this symbolic barrier. It's all about the charade. It's all about the optics. It's all about creating a picture out there that the average person is going to buy. But if you really want genuine reconciliation, like you said, if everything is centered around a very limited geographical area, what happened to the people in the hinterland? What happened to people that are directly affected or were directly affected by the war in some of the hotspot in Liberian civil war? Why they cannot see you? Because they're not interested in genuine reconciliation. So that's the question we'll keep asking our audience today. What is your definition of genuine reconciliation? And what do you need to see to believe that we are making progress when it comes to reconciliation? That's the question.
Because the former president and the president, they are not speaking. And to see what job, you're right. You even stopping. Look, just imagine. Somebody turn power over to you and you're stopping them from even using the airport by them. Only if, why are you fighting your own country? Because for me, I see this thing among like you are fighting against the progress of your country. Because look, don't get personal issues with people. I will always say this in my entire life. I will only disagree with you on issues, but to have personal issue with you, no. Because if you have personal issue with people, then that means you are not creating that kind of more mindset that anytime you can do something to them. That's why for me, I don't create personal issue with people, even though there are people who call, some people insult, they do anything to us, to some of us, but we have no issues against them. When we see them, we speak to them, we hug them, we even laugh with them. That's the life. But again, Liberia will move forward only if all of our political parties, look, time for elections, people will go out there to contest. It is their right. Until ruling party and other opposition, they can know very well that, or if they can know that people will go out there and contest during elections, they have to stop the too much of hatred. Even if it's coming from the opposition bloc, you have to stop. If it's coming from the ruling position, you have to stop. Because all of these things, the people, the citizens, they are the one falling apart more. If you really observe, you will see the party people attacking CDC, you see CDC people attacking the party people, ANC people attacking this, CMC, everybody just into the one attack and nobody discussing that kind of real issues. All they do is just to attack. So, like for example, today I saw, oh God, I saw student leaders. I don't know why you saw them, my brother. Today they were having press conference. You saw them, right? I don't know. You saw them.
Maybe I will check for you.
If I show you some of the photos of our students from UL, yeah. You'll be thinking that we now go, or in fact, we now go back to 1990.
Yeah.
Students, oh, hey, God. And the country you want.
But I thought you could show that video from the beginning of the show. Maybe, yeah, I mean, but anyway, another day.
I was sure that even the photo, I saw the photo somewhere. I wanted to display some of the photo, and because people were comparing the students here in Liberia, their behavior, the way they dress, and that the students outside, you call yourself student, students.
Look presentable. You
are dressing like a rebel.
Yeah.
What kind of country is this?
There should be your dress code standard. You know, because you're student, you're wearing anything. No.
Hey, see that blog. Maybe tomorrow, in fact, we'll even look at all these things. Because the hardest society wanted people to be mocked. People from soup, they had a part of good at supporting them. Look, tomorrow we will really chip into all the students' activities. Who's supporting the guy? Who's supporting the students' behavior? It's the same politicians. Why not we don't move to the line to interact with our people? Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, my dear. Good evening.
Yeah, I come here. Yeah. Please, can I tell the running man?
The wrong number, yeah. Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Good evening,
yeah, go ahead.
Let me say good evening to Mom from the diaspora. This is David King, and I do join you from the Main Street in Spend Notice. You see, Mabel, reconciliation is a good thing, you know, but the manner and form our president is behaving, I think this is not reconciliation. I saw President Weah in 2018 call for a dialogue with all of the state actors, all of the political parties, at a major opposition leader hotel, Belacasa. In that forum that day, Senator Dillon walked out of the forum because you are pushing personal interests. And President Weah said to him, this forum, though, it is not meant for people to push their own ego. And he got annoyed, he left. So President Boaga want to reconcile the country. Why can't you call all of the actors in the country to be there so that the reconciliation can be done? But you will go and take your own partisan. So of them, you carry them somewhere, you say you go bury someone. So that reburial thing you own there. Now you're not kind of Ebola people. You're coming again to COVID-19 people. You come into the war 250,000. Some of our lost our father in the war. So what will President Boaga call me to be there that day so we can have the memorial service or whatever service he want to have?
All right, thank you. With President Boaga call me. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, maybe I'm Alvin Johnson calling from 2064. You see, I was trying to look at the whole picture because I followed the process of Nigeria. I was in Nigeria. I was at the yesterday, and I was at the seminary yesterday. All these things, when I see it, they are thinking about the 200 plus human beings like that. The people that coronavirus killed, the people that Ebola killed, those that got brain in houses on circumstances. So when you call for reburial or for burial for all those people were killed in the war and they left side of the road. And you go for their family so you can have a ceremony for those people because you're bringing something up that will bring embarrassment to the people. Because you can't go for certain kind of people. That's why you see one time the lecturer was going to share something on one of the radio stations and he said, don't take Boaga to be like you. Don't take him to be naked man like you. Know you probably 1% in the country.
Meaning?
So he's not part of you. He's not part of you at all. So he's trying to make his friends happy. So go for the friend that died or hurt him, although you were sitting there when he happy. So he go for them and rebury them and try to speak for the Liberia. Now another sense of directing funds. They don't get with direct fund in the rebury president too. And you direct 2-3 million there. You use you pay 10,000. The banana money we share here among ourselves. You just get with direct fund to the rebury president trouble. And then we direct from there 2-3 million. We use 50,000 in the banana.
All right. Thank you. Today's caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, people and your co-host in the diaspora. you for the fascinating discussion. I'm Peter Ricardo. I come from another street in Lower Johnsonville. You know, Joseph Walker and government, they never surprised me for their gross incompetency. These people came with the agenda of rescue. Today, they are shifted from the rescue agenda toward the rebury agenda. When in the war, the president will abandon the executive marshal and just moving from graveyard to graveyard and start thinking about reburying. While those that are living, in actual poverty and destitution. And just like your mom walk out here, guys are not here. They talk about reconciliation. So who are you reconciling with? With the dead? You cannot reconcile by reburying those guys that died. Those people, they are already gone. Those that are living, they are the ones that you can reconcile with.
All right. Thank you so much. Who are you reconciling with? Are you reconciling with the dead? Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, Lebo. My name is Mahmoud Safu. I'm calling you from Brother. I have two issues to talk about. One is, you know, reconciliation is never going to end. Reconciliation in human life is going to continue. The government is continuity. When the civil war subsided, the transitional government, the Taylor government, the Ellen government, the Wheeler government, they all have a series of programs for reconciliation. And reconciliation, there are portions of them. One portion of it, you call everybody together, you talk to them. There are some people who are grieving, and at the end of the day, you have to put it together. The burial, I heard someone say, will you go and then do the reconciliation program in all of the counties? This is a national program that they are going to be having. Do you want to tell me that if you have inauguration of president at the national, you're going all of the counties to have inauguration?
So, hello, thank you. Hello, say, as a question, more said that at least 75,000 was given to Unity Party, leaders or Zolaways or so forth, for them to be able to celebrate the inauguration day.
Okay.
Isn't that true, right?
Okay.
No, I come in. Isn't that true, right?
I don't know whether they are giving it for inauguration day. I'm talking about.
Why? Hello, my young man. So,
yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. We got to push point and we got to make sense. I'm asking you a question that Unity Party people were giving 75,000 during the day of inauguration day, and that money was squandered. Whether it was squandered or not, is not an issue. But they were giving that money for inauguration day. I want you to admit. Hello.
Program. Yeah, for inauguration program.
Good. So what do you learn from that? Quickly before you go back to another issue.
Okay, so what I learned from it is that when something is not properly planned and accountability was not given, those people who didn't account for it, they should be able to be responsible to account for it. The point here,
what was the money given for?
They said, according to their own narration, is they were giving for inauguration.
Okay, good. So go ahead now.
Okay, so for me, this is a burning issue, especially, for example, these people in April 12th that were killed. These people, it's not a matter of this as one set of group of people that they have been grieving, not for any other thing, but rather to have the fitting burial for their family.
All right, good. Today's Cara, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, and good evening to your panelists. My son is my knee to join for Spanish freeway. Yeah, that some of who for the thinking of President Walker is not a president that will move our country forward. Can you reconcile with the dead when they living? The person who is living, you don't want to reconcile with that person, then you want to reconcile with the dead, then we want to take it serious. This person is not serious for reconciliation. Look at President when we are saying President, we are left out. You know, one of the things for the real call, oh my son, how you doing? Do you want to reconcile with the dead? How can you reconcile with something that can do and the others? They say we will take it serious. The president don't want to showcase that if you want to reconcile, but we already know that the president is here for years, but we pray that the pace of their growth will bring. Thank you.
Thank you. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, maybe At the end, and then
no, but you go on more. Excuse me now. I don't want us to continue to be doing what and putting on this. We're not here for no defense and against. The point. Hello. Hold on. Hello, I wanted to do that after the call, but let me just correct you on that. The point here is not about the president being to all of the counties doing the peace and reconciliation. No, the point there is everybody should feel the impact of the reconciliation. That's what Monk and myself, what we've been saying here and what we're saying. So we're not saying you should be there or we should be there. No, but you have superintendent, you have county leadership.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mabon. Joey, you have taken about almost 30 seconds of my time, but I just want to make it clear. Hello?
Go ahead quickly.
Yeah. So I'm trying to say, I'm not saying what you are also saying is wrong. I'm trying to just say reconciliation is a continuous process. When right after the civil crisis, there were many forms of the reconciliation that took place. This is just another component of it that this leader is doing. Another leader will come and say, you know what, I'm going to take the reconciliation outside of Liberia to other people who were not here and have a memorial service in some countries or continents.
All right, I like that. Maybe you're right on that one. Hello, today's caller. Good evening. When does it come?
This is when we are called for grand action.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, this government is not serious. It's just the matter of creating avenues for themselves to control the citizen, to give political, political sovereignty. The whole issue you have to do with the country is heavily divided.
50-50.
You have people like Kumi there, none of that is part of A. You have other people that you're not even calling them. You know your political party people you carry from place to place, you have to steal the country money. Nothing else. I tell about stealing. And people suffering, they just go from place to place to bury there. You are there already. Go in some of these schools, go in some other areas. Nothing you can find there. The roads are deplorable.
Especially in Sano. I know Mississippi Street, I saw that on the internet today. I felt bad. What?
The roads kind of ground where you going Zowintown way from Bikera to pass through Copan 3 to go to Zowintown, St. John way there. The whole road corner. Nobody can go outside again. They just passing all around with people and with people resources, then say burying dead people taking it to Bishop and Abuti and the president.
All right, thank you. Let the dead be buried. So let's call a good evening.
Good evening, neighbor.
Yes, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, thank you very much for your show. This is Aaron David Samuel. I joined a discussion for Omega Market, the legacy of some of the here. Neighbor, look, let me tell you, neighbor. Don't you think that they can play on like dreadful intelligence in this country? Calling for reconciliation. Last thing they talk about reconciliation, neighbor, is belated. Seriously, it is belated. No matter what they do, it is belated. So the Kwaga took power. The first thing you fall for is war crime code. You said people that committed fraud should be prosecuted. They're already in the first house establishing war crime code. They fight for reconciliation. Why you work that happen? Can reconciliation take place in the presence of the court? You have appointed a head of war crime code. Somebody that will head a war crime code. Other officials are here. You feel getting building for them, everything. War crime code already being established here. Then you come to go and reconcile. Reconciliation, that kind of reconciliation is belated. That is led to the level of pre-dosing. They tormented the men with war crime code. Then you know that we reconcile. When you realize that reconciliation was important, that now you come with reconciliation, you say that we reconcile is belated. No matter.
All right. Thank you. It is indeed belated according to you. Today's caller, good evening.
Hello, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I have to say, my name is Lasana Donso. I'm calling for Bonaparte. What I have to say is that the United Party and the rescue team, they are not serious at all. Joseph Walker is not serious. This thing is just start about stealing money. That's all. Nothing else behind it. You see, just to steal the money. That's all. Nothing else behind it. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take one or two more calls, then we'll go back to our team. We want to play the video. Hello? Today's caller, good evening. Hello, go ahead.
Yes, you see, my name is Kofa.
we say, you see that government, Mr. Waka, he's a wicked, evil, vine papu. He and his cancer. They only came to kill us, but they never came to save us. Every weekend that they're doing, they will pay for it. The same thing I told you to all the Liberians, and they what they call poor bear. That's why he continued doing. That's why Joe Baka doing. But they will pay the price. That may pay the police bill for them to bring out Billy, and they pay. How much in the other people, those are not know about it, but they will pay for the price.
All right, they will pay for the price according to her. Quickly, the last caller, then we'll move on. We won't play the video. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, man, dear, good evening.
Thank God I'm the last caller. I'm calling from Fire from Division 16.
Thank you, AB, my brother, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for the show. For me, what a operation I pull that blood for.
Ah, my brother, I hear them.
Let put square, let call square or square. Eh? Even you were over there, if your grandparents or someone your family, they pass away some kind of cushion way in the past. And at that time, people were head scatter and you decide to be buried there. I think it's a good initiative. People continue what it means. This thing, look, don't forget about the parents. People talk about reconciliation. You say, it's not anyone.
No, they are saying, hello, Chief. So that go to the issues. You think the way the process is going, you think that's the right way?
Because you don't make 12 years, you say what you don't do better. So today, if I can't do better, you can praise me for that one. We praise our head and then we say, oh, it can be no reconciliation will be in the concept, this and that concept, divide, that will be in the land. And the concept divide, I always talking to you, all that call on your shoulder, I say, when the concept divide, you are going to remain here. Please.
All right, thank you. You're going to help us, sir. The other people with me, I like that. That's very interesting. So let me play the video quickly. I need just a few minutes more before you come in. This is the, in fact, these are students of the University of Liberia. When we say these things, sometimes people want to see like we hear the kind of joke. That the future leader than years old, when people, let me play the video quick.
Of our party, based on that note, permit me now to quickly zoom in combatant revolutionary total Harry Williams. Allah see Bigo Comrade Agela, you are welcome to this basement.
Long live, Eddie Bigo, long live. Yo, you been bleed more than for fun. Yo. Don't compare with Jeremy Pia, you don't know when I go up on a yo.
All right, so no time for that. I think tomorrow, but Monk, I just wanted to Monk, I think you see something, right? But if we are entering into AR, people, you'll be sleeping. But go ahead, Monk.
Well, you know that the reason our people they don't follow that one time is a dolly guy, he used some kind of warhead, but that just it. You ask them a simple question because they are not listening with the intention to understand what you are saying. They are listening with the intention to respond because for them they got to pick a side in everything that they do. We ask, what is your own definition of reconciliation, and do you think we are making progress toward reconciliation? But they forget about the question. They ain't even interested in answering the question because they think that by asking this question, you are playing politics. That's why I'm talking about reconciliation is a continuous process. Okay, even if it's a continuous process, where does it come to an end? And are you making progress, or you just want to keep doing something without no return on your investment? Are we making progress when it comes to reconciliation? But my brother, that's it. That's why we come on Sktv. We try our best to explain things, and it's up to them to interpret. But I cannot remember a situation where one single caller was able to address the main question. Okay, we got our own opinion here. We are opinion. We on the talk show. We come up with the idea. We talk about the topic. But then you got your own opinion. So why not state your own definition? Do you live in a country, right? You know what's happening everywhere. Do you think this particular event will have any meaningful impact on real reconciliation. But you're not interested in answering that question anyway, so that's just why it is, Maple. I don't know what to say. And that's
Yes,
just
my brother, thank you so much. And to the other caller who said that people, other group of people, they should find other, I don't know, country to go and live. You know, people will not go to any other country. Liberia belongs to all Liberians. We all got to disagree to agree. That's the beauty of democracy. You know, let's be frank and let's say this and that. Like the other man said, according to Mark and Monk, already stated that in fact, reconciliation continue.
Mhm.
So that means then you are wasting the time of the Liberian people. For me, I see the entirety, my brother. So when will we come up with development? When will we come up or be serious? If we come up, every time we come up 6 years of our time, reconciliation, peace. People come, they dance culture, we get them money. People come, the government official, they get money and they go home. My brother, a waste of time. You are not the only country that follow up. But so the issue here is what making our leaders to come together and reconcile this country. I think we should be holding our leaders accountable instead of us being acting with for all party A, party B, and party C here. And then no, that waste of time.
Maybe
yeah.
The men who came out with the idea that reconciliation is a continuous process, it's just a talking point. That's a lie. Country that went through genuine reconciliation, they did it one process in Sierra Leone, your next door neighbor, right? When Sierra Leone went to their whole reconciliation, they came out with a TRC report and they were able to implement some of the recommendations. You see them having reconciliation program every single day of the week.
Even Rwanda, my brother, Rwanda today. Rwanda. South Africa. Are you the only country that fought war here, my people?
Are you? Sudan.
Sudan. But
Yeah,
because you choose betterness.
Yeah.
Because what you choose is that I will choose myself. I will not choose Liberia. Most of you, that you look, you pretend that you for Liberia. That lie.
So you try to twist
Most
the
of you
handle.
not even like the country.
Yeah.
Because more seriously, because if you really love Liberia in your heart, you will want to bring all of these people together because they are all Liberians. Let's bring them together so that we all can live on the part of our heart. Instead of us seeing that for example, by the time you in United Party, if CDC win, they don't want to give you a job because they think that they're not seeing you as Liberians.
No. They see you with a party label, first thing. They see you with a badge on your face. The reason you keep having one program after another because you're not interested in genuine reconciliation. Because you use the occasion to steal money and to score political points. Countries that are interested in genuine reconciliation, they don't do it over and over, they do it in one shot, one event. They reconcile and they move on. The reason for your case, every 90 days another reconciliation program, because for you, it's a way to steal from ordinary people, and two, it's another way to score political points. That's exactly what happened in Liberia. So don't come and lie to our audience about reconciliation is a continuing process. No, that's lie. We put all the events together. We have a major or initiative or a program. We go all over the country. We talk this issue. We follow recommendation. Then you're talking about reconciliation, whether it's about accountability, whether it's about reparation. Those recommendations were made. But you are not interested in true reconciliation because you believe when the people are divided, you can use that as a political weapon. That I can say, hey, no, Charles we have from the South eat. He wasn't the one that reburied Samuel Doso. When Braga does it, then it made his score political point in Grenjide. That's exactly what you're doing. That's why you keep rotating and keep bringing up this whole recycle. I will use the word recycle. You keep recycling this one event because it's all about politics. Because people who are interested in genuine reconciliation, they will give the thing one shot and will be done with it and move on to other things in the country. We can't keep having. Hey, I'm gonna celebrating Christmas 10 times in a single year. Christmas can only be one day.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Mark. Well, this country has look, Mark. Look, politics. I don't know how come, but our people will have to be very careful. Like I just stated that people are not seeing people as to which political party that you support. These are questions. These are interview, and that's the fact. People are not seeing you as maybe whether you qualify or not, but they will be seeing you, your affiliation, or maybe who you call it associating with or not. Like for example, if you say I belong to no political party, say they want to force you by all means. so that you can support somebody just because they want to have issue with you. What kind of country is this? What kind of country is this that we live in, that people think that politics is the only way forward for our life? Well, again, Monk, thank you. And good night to all of our people. Thank you so much, my dear brother, for coming on tomorrow. We will be here by God's grace. Thank you to all of you callers. Again, that's the country. We all have to disagree to agree, but let's put Liberia. All of you that say you love Liberia, most of you have been observing you. You're fake. You people are fake. Because if you truly love Liberia, the first thing you don't want to see Liberia burned down. But most of you just pretend. Well, good night, my brother. We'll see you again on tomorrow by God's grace.
Take care, guys. Have a nice day.
All right.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us care and the promise of them. So welcome my life without fear.
I live
Master.
Cleverly, so make you. I can't ask you to be venue. Say my journey, Tina can ask my yamu. And yes, I know money. And I know. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I put ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I put ya to money, and I forget na ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget na. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. The flesh that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.